Welcome from Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking. We're still in the season of Lent, which means Meatless Fridays here. So today is going to be another Meatless Friday recipe for you. And this is something that has probably been done forever by tons of people. I'm just going to give you my homemade version of it. And that is the ever faithful tuna noodle casserole. I don't use canned soup in mine, so I'm just going to show you what I do instead of using canned soup. If you have the time to make the homemade egg noodles that I've shown you how to make previously, that really amps this up. If not, I'm going to show you what you can use for the quick version that's pretty satisfying. There's a couple ways you can do this depending on how much time you have, and I'll show you that too. I mean, you can finish it off in the oven so you get the nice brown top to it. But if you don't have time, you can do it on stovetop and it'll be done without going in the oven. You just won't get that crispy, that nice crispy crunchy top. So I'll show you what goes into it. It's not that hard. So this recipe is a little bit of a challenge because I've been making this for, I don't know, 35 years or 40 years, something like that. And I've never had to measure anything, so I have to measure this out for you guys. So we're going to do the best we can. So I put peas in mine. Yeah, I know that's weird, but I like peas in mine because that's the way my mom made it. If you don't have time to do my homemade noodles, I like this brand, the Light and Fluffy Extra Wide Egg Noodles. They're really good for casseroles like this. I have a couple cans of my P.A. Giorgio sliced mushrooms, 3 cans of the tuna and water. Never use the tuna and oil stuff. That's just bad. Some cheese, because everything's better with cheese. Butter and flour to start the roux, and milk, and some cornflakes. That's going to be our topping today instead of breadcrumbs. So that's, oh yeah, and I forgot this stuff. Anyhow, that's what goes into my tuna noodle casserole. Let's get cooking. First part's pretty simple. I'm preheating my oven to 400 degrees and I'm going to throw in my noodles and let these cook, and when these get cooked I'm going to put them in a colander to drain, and then we're going to make up the rest of our stuff here. Okay, the noodles are cooked and they're draining in the colander, so next we get the next part. And that is, we're going to work on making our roux. And I always do this equal parts fat to equal part flour. So I've got half a cup. We'll get this melted down and then add our flour. My butter is melted, so now I'm going to add my flour. Make it nice golden roux, like this. And then we're going to add my milk, and I'm going to use around 4 cups of milk. And we'll get that whisked in. And I'm going to add my fishy stuff. Probably, I'm going to say, I don't know, a couple tablespoons. This and the mushrooms are partly what gives the flavor for your, instead of having the cream of mushroom soup. My mom always made it that way growing up. She was pretty busy with the farm and working and everything else. But when we got away from doing canned soups and stuff because of the high sodium, I just started making it this way. And my father would never eat my mom's tuna noodle casserole because he wasn't big on tuna to begin with. And but for some reason he likes my version. And as this warms up and starts thickening, I'm just going to add some cheese. This is a Colby Jack mix because, you know, everything's better with cheese. I'll get that melted in. I'm going to say probably cup and a half of the cheese. You don't want tons, you're not making mac and cheese, but it helps give it a nice creaminess and richness, and it's pretty darn yummy. Our cheese is pretty well melted, and it's starting to thicken up just a little bit. Now we're going to add in the rest of our goodies here. Our mushrooms and our peas and our tuna. And this always makes Gwenny happy because she gets the tuna juice. There we go. And I like this heavy on the tuna. I mean, it's your main protein. And we're just going to work this in like this. Get this all incorporated. Get your tuna broken up. I mean, and if you can use fresh tuna and the homemade noodles and fresh mushrooms, this takes it to a whole new level. But let's face it, most people don't have those things just lying around. So this is a close knockoff. I'm also going to add some pepper because that's the way we like it. Get this all mixed in. And then we're going to add our noodles back. And I'm going to put on my topping, and we're going to throw her in the oven. And this is pretty well all cooked. The peas will cook in the liquid that's already in there, so you don't have to worry about that. And then we'll start working in our noodles. And get this all stirred up. I know other people have other versions. You can do whatever makes you happy. I'm just showing you mine. And now we're just going to add my cornflakes. Once again, these are the Aldi's brand, Millville. $1 a box, can't beat it. No added sugars, preservatives, or any of that crap. Makes a great topping. It's a great way to use the end of the cereal box bits. I'm going to put this in the oven at 400 degrees for half an hour, 40 minutes. Probably about half an hour will do it. I mean, everything's really cooked. You just want to get this all toasted nice. So, we'll get her in the oven and get baking. It's out of the oven. Oh, it's all toasted, nice and bubbly. Gonna let this cool a few minutes, and then you know what comes next. So let's dip into this. So you can see it here. The goodness. And there you can see what it looks like up close and personal. So, there's my yumminess. And just making it this way with the homemade ingredients. Real mushrooms and the cheese and creaminess of the butter. So good. Crunch from the cornflakes. Gives it a nice dimension. And what a comfort food on a icky Friday during Lent. Look at that crunch. So, I know this is an old standby. You might have your own favorite version. This is mine. Here's something for you to try maybe a little different for this Meatless Friday. And give it a shot. I hope it wakes up the old standby a little bit for you. And happy Friday.